upgrade your Linux skill level with RHEL 8 new features. So what are those new features? So this is a new content which is going to be published daily, like one by one. So there are new features came in RHEL 8. So all the new features I'm going to introduce to you people, like introducing what are those new features on RHEL 8. So upgrade your level skill level to RHEL 8, so with the new content. So that's called here. You can see that the first of all, the step 1, how you can upgrade your RHEL 7.6 to RHEL 8, which is inline upgrade process. So you don't need to reformat it, the system with RHEL 8 and install again all the services and things, but already installed system which is already running some services on it, and you want to upgrade that 7.6 to 7.8, how you can perform that. So that's the inline upgrade process I'm going to show you in this content. So the next one is Stratis file system, so which is a new file system process Red Hat is introduced, which one will reduce your maintenance headache, like whenever the file system is filled up, so you have to increase the file system size, and you have to bring some application offline and all this stuff. But here no need to do such a thing, so the overhead is gone using this Stratis file system. Okay, so how we can perform this Stratis file system creation and all the stuff we are going to see in this RHEL upgrade process. So the next one is VDO, virtual data optimizer. So how we can create VDO disks and perform a data copy over it, so and see how it performs the deduplication process and all the stuff. So that's the VDO. So it makes a lot easier for us, and it makes a lot of data saving, data disk saving, disk space saving on the storage. So the next one is cryptographic policies, how you can make your cryptographic policies to secure your system. The next one is looks. So this is a kind of black device data encryption. So how you can encrypt your black devices, something which is very helpful sometimes the data theft protection. So the next one is PBD, policy based decryption. So how you can create some policies to decrypt those encrypted devices. The next one is NF tables, the new way to write a firewall rules. So which is very looking into the NF tables, there is not much documentation on the websites, but if you keep on practicing these rules, so you can write a number of complex firewall rules using this NF tables, so which is very fine tuned and new version of it. So no Docker daemon is required. So whenever actually in RHEL 7.6, if you want to run some container, you have to install Docker services, okay, or daemons to be run on background. But here no Docker daemon is required. You can directly run the containers using this pod 1, and you can build some container images using the builder, and you can verify those build images using the Scopio services, and run season one more service, which these are 4 services which are introduced in RHEL 8, which are going to be in a very popular like container service to run on RHEL 8 without a daemon. So that's the fun of it. So these are the new upgrade processes are like remaining. All these, most of the things are same, like normally if you want to create a partitions, or if you want to create an LVM, or if you want to write firewall rules, or if you want to do something, so which are most of the things are same comparatively RHEL 7.x version and RHEL 8, but these are the new things you have to learn to upgrade yourself to RHEL 8. In RHEL 6 or 7, the REM repository is a little bit different, and the setup is different. Here the M repository setup for the actually RHEL installation media ship with these two components, which is called AppStream repository and base OS repository. So we have to configure them in a little different way, so that in RHEL 8 it works. Otherwise, so if you set up as a normal like RHEL 7, it won't work. So AppStream is used for installing the applications, and base OS is used to install the base OS required packages on the base OS. So that's the purpose of over here. So what I'm going to do is that I'm just going to create a one directory called RPMs, and I'm just going to dump the entire content of my DVD repository to this RPMs. Okay, so here if I go to /mnt, so this is my DVD content repository. So in this, the entire content is not required. Example, say that the images, SELinux, all this not required. EFI also is not required. Just you have to copy these two directories from here. So one is AppStreams, another one is the base OS. So what I'm going to do here is that I'm just going to copy this AppStreams to /RPMs. Okay, so I'm just going to pass this video until this copy done. Okay, maybe first of all I will copy this base OS, so it will take a small time to copy this one. Okay, so maybe you do not put V, and it takes little time to copy this. So the copy has been completed. Now you can copy the AppStream to /RPMs. So now both the base OS and AppStreams are copied. Now let's go to /RPMs and see there are two directories which are copied the data. Now what we have to do is that we have to go to the let's go to /etc m.repos.d, and here we have to create the .repo files in order to let it work off this AppStream and base OS. So first of all, I'm just going to create AppStream.repo. Any name you can give. Just I want it to be in identical, so that's why I say AppStream repo like this. Anything you can give, maybe I can give like this, or let it be AppStream. Okay, so the name you can give anything over here. AppStream repo, something like this. You can give, I want in quotation because I have some space here, base URL. So here I'm just going to give the base URL as files : //rpm/app_streams. So this is what my directory name is, and enabled equal to 1, gpg check equal to 0. So if gpg is equal to 1, then you have to specify the path name. So I'm just copying this app streams as base os dat repo. Now I'm just going to edit this base os dat repo. So here I just have to change this path of the app stream to base os, so that work for us. So here I just have to change the path to base os. So now here the name is base os repo. That's it. So first of all I have to verify that whether it is correct or not, the path is. So app stream and base os. So now we can cat it the configuration files m.repos.d and base os, and you can see that's correct, RPMs, and you can just see that app stream is also correct. So now first of all clean this, all the before repository, all the stuff. Okay, now the db will be cleaned up. Now type mrepo list. So it's just going to give you the repo list. So AppStream repo and base os repo. So both the repos, it's working fine. So in order to register your all the packages, what you have to do is rpm -import and give the this release, Red Hat release, so that it won't ask you whenever you install that it gives you error that this package is not licensed, something like that. So in order to avoid that, from the media there is a file called Red Hat -release, Red Hat gpg release. You have to import that so that the error will be avoided. That's about it, guys. Setting up your RHEL repository, AppStream and base os. So if you want to install any package, you can just install it. So it's working fine. Maybe you can say yes. So the HTTP is going to be installed on this machine. That's about it. The Cockpit Web Control of RHEL 8 new feature, so which is a web interface for remote administration of servers. So whenever something like the new administrator has joined the company and he wanted to do something, so most of the times you have to go through a lot of commands for the configuration and editing the configuration and all the stuff. But this web console will give you a basic configuration, so they can do a few things on using this web console itself. So what are those you can do using this web console? Let's see over here. So the Cockpit Web Control features. So first of all, monitoring the system performance. So most of the times you have to go through whenever the somebody user is said that okay, I'm getting some performance issues, then you have to go to a lot of commands like top commands and the SAR report and all the stuff, and disk IO report, all the stuff. Then you have to correlate all of them and make a system performance report. But here straightforwardly in the single window itself you can see that what is the system performance is going on. The next one is you can check and filter the system logs. So what are the errors and warnings and information, all the segregation of the logs over there, on the web console itself, and create users, which is most commonly done on the administration part, the creating users, the providing the permissions. But you cannot provide the permissions from over here, but you can simply create the users and give them the access. Okay, changing the network settings, like changing the IP configuration settings and making some bonding, teaming, all the stuff you can do it from this web console itself. Next one is managing services, like starting the services and stopping the services. You don't need to worry, you can single click, you can start and stop the services from here. The next one is sending the diagnostic reports. So this diagnostic report is very, very important. Something like whenever you have a support or you have a subscription for the support, then they will ask you to send some diagnostic reports, or they will give some scripts, so which is going to be sometimes due to a dependency they may fail, or due to something they may not run properly, run into the issues. But here you can single click, you can get the diagnostic report. So the next one is Kdump configuration. The Kdump configuration very, very important. Sometimes whenever the server crashes, it creates some dump, kernel dump, and dump it into the network location where you can analyze those dump, what goes on the server when server went offline or restarted, crashed. Okay, the next one is SELinux policy management. So this is very, very important. Something like if you have a PCI compliance, if you want to make server PCI compliance, but here there are two policies which comes on the SELinux policy management, you can make this applicable to the server. The next one is subscription management. So you can subscribe your server to the production or test and development. All this subscription management can be done from the web console. And this is a great feature, is that terminal for CLI. So you don't need to use any softwares like logging into the remote SSH management, all the stuff. From the web console itself, you can directly access the terminal and type the commands from there itself. So that's a very easy feature. So whenever you want to manage your server from the remote, like whenever you are not in the office, you wanted to connect to that server, even you don't need to open any VPN. You can simply open that web console port to the remote and you can directly access the server. Next one is manage KVM virtual machines, and you can manage the virtual machines from here itself. And block device management, like you can create VDOs and SCSI targets, or in targets you can connect it from here, and you can use RAID configuration and LVM management from here itself. And software package management, like installing the softwares can be done, but this gives sometimes errors. And renaming the server, like whenever you want to rename your server, you simply just click and type the name, so it renames. And setting the date and time settings, it's very, very simple. Next one is joining to the Windows Active Directory domain. So this is something like sometimes which is typical on the command line. Okay, but here it's straightforward. You just give the domain name and username and password of the Active Directory, it's joined to the domain. So application management, so this application management only works whenever you have subscription to the Red Hat, otherwise it won't work. Okay, next one is the write firewall rules. So this is simple, most of the times they do on the regular Linux servers if the firewall is on. So this can be done from the web console. So next one is that how you can install this and configure. So install cockpit is the command. You can just install the cockpit packages. Okay, and systemctl start, and the cockpit.socket is the service name. You have to start it and enable it. Then we have to enable the service from the firewall CMD, so that the cockpit service to be enabled and reloaded. Then you can go to the HTTPS and server name :1990 is the port name of that web console access. Then you can access the console server. So these many are the packages available for the management right now. This is cockpit is in still under development, which is not yet completed. So they are going to complete soon. Maybe they are going to add new features over here, but still now these are the packages. You can get it on the RHEL 8 package. Okay, cockpit web service and PCP integration, deployment and developer guide. Next one is the bridge configuration for your network teaming, and session recording, cockpit session recording is available, and bridge server side components and package management. Next one is the dashboard. Dashboard is the very useful, like whenever you want to configure all the servers at the single dashboard, you can use this feature to configure multiple servers at the same time. Next one is the machines. This is the virtual machine management. Next one is then a storage, so you can use the storage management from here. Next one is then a system. This is an admin interface package for configuration and troubleshooting a system. So this is about the features. Let's jump into the practical and see how we can install and configure this Cockpit Web Console. So right now I am into the SSH console of the RHEL 8 machine. So next one is I am just going to install these packages. Install Cockpit is the package name we have to install over here, but here I am just going to install all the Cockpit packages because I am going to show you a demonstration on all the required steps, so which installs all the Cockpit packages and its dependencies, so which are required for our web console, and all this package management and storage management, virtual system management, all this dashboard as well, also it will install over that. So let's see this. The package may take little time, so I'm just pausing the video for until this package is going to be installed. So the package installation is completed. Now let's enable the service. Enable cockpit.socket and start cockpit.socket, or cockpit would be enough. Now let's see the status, what it says. Yes, it's running. Now go to the web console and access this cockpit from there. So from here I'm just going to access my web console, so which may ask you to confirm the SSL certificate. So here you can log in with any of your user which are already created. So I am just using the root, but do not use Red Hat like this root access to log into the web console, because whenever you click something over here, which will be affected immediately on the system. So that's why I do not recommend to log in as a root, but as a demonstration I'm just going to log in as a root and show you. So this is the first interface over here. You can see that. So what is the CPU utilization, how many cores you have, and what is the swap and memory utilization over here, and disk IO utilization over here, network traffic. So this is the called as a single interface monitoring, so how your server is performing. So and what is the hardware you have. So this is I've just installed this VM on the VMware platform, so that's why it shows VMware and virtual machine. And you can see this operating system is Red Hat 8.0. so the release it has shown over here, and the host name is this one. And if you want to join this server as a domain, you can simply click over here and say just simply username and password and OU domain address, that's it. So it's going to join it. So from here itself console, if you want to change this date and time settings, you can simply change from here, a single click. And if you want to restart your server or shut down your server, you can do it from here as well. So whenever you are in root user, be careful, because whenever you click just shut down, it's just shut down the machine. So that's what it is. And performance, so how on the virtual profile, how it is get set for the virtual guest. And store metrics, if we say enable, so the store metrics will come over here. The next one is logs on the console, so you can see this. So the log can be filtered using the date and time from here. So current boot, recent logs, and last 24 hours or last 7 days, you can just filter these logs. And from here also, if you want to see a log category, like everything. If you want to see or only emergency or only error and above, you can see this. Or if you want to see only emergency logs, so you can also see this emergency logs. Or if you want to see everything, you can see everything from here. So this is very useful for whenever you wanted to look at up the log categorized. Okay, if you want to see a debug and above, so that can be done from here itself. So that's the easy way to you can do a log filtering from here. And the next one is the storage management. So this storage management is like simple. So if you want to configure some RAID devices, you can click over here. Or if you want to add some RAID, so this is the already configured LVM partition. So you can see this over here. You can grow and sync the partition, but which is not accepted. I can simply create the LVM snapshot from here itself. Or if you want to deactivate the volume or activate the volume, you can do it from here itself. And you can see the file system mounting and unmounting options. The next one is swap partition. You can see this. So you can sync and grow, create the snapshot, deactivate. So this is the storage management, and you can go back and see iSCSI targets. If you want to add the iSCSI initiator from here itself, you don't need to bother about the you can just give the storage connecting name and username and password. You just connect to the iSCSI. So if you have the RAID devices, you can also configure the RAID. So what are the RAID levels? If you want to select it, just select it, and that's it. Disk attach the disks, and RAID can be configured from here itself. So that's the storage management. And you can also see this what is the read and write performance over here, and what is the file system usage and this screen itself. And network management. In the network management, you can also see that like creating the bond. So if you want to create the bond, so they have already given this simple configuration steps, so where you can select your bonding, like active backup or whatever the type which you want to configure your bonding, and which is the primary one, which is the backup one, and link monitoring capability and interval configuration. All the stuff you can single screen. You just select it and name it the bond and click apply. The bond will be created. So, and next one is the teaming. So the team can be also simple, very simple, just like few clicks. The next one is bridge connection. So creating the bridging also would be very easy, and adding the VLAN. So the VLAN also would be simple. So that's what the network management says. And you can also say like configuration, like monitoring can be done by interval of 5 minutes or 6 hours, 1 hour, 1 day, 1 week. So it can, if you select 6 hours, last 6 hours data will be shown over here. If you select 1 hour, 1 hour, and if you select 5 minutes data will be shown over here. So here there is some firewall. So if you can click on the firewall, so here you can see that the firewall is on and cockpit port is enabled over here, and the DHCP client is enabled and SSH is enabled. If you want to add some services, you can simply click on services and which service you want to add. Example, say I want to add DNS. So here I want to add the DNS service. That simple it is. The firewall rule has been created for the DNS. So you can switch off the firewall or switch on the firewall. So the next one is virtual machines. So the virtual machines can be configured from here. If you want to create some VM, you can also do that VM creation from here itself, and you can manage those virtual machines from here. So the next one is accounts. So creating the user accounts would be very easy, and managing some user level permissions would be also easy from here. So example, say I want to create some user called let's say Kumar. So my username is Kumar, and password is something, but here the password complexity is enabled, so that's why it may not create. So we have to provide a strong password, otherwise it won't accept. See this. Okay, like this. You have to give some strong password. Okay, this is the password. So now user Kumar got created. You can log in with this Kumar account. If you want to say here example, say Kumar, that's the account. You can simple. So that's what the user account says. So if you want to change some parameters of the user account, you can still do that from here, but which is not that much powerful over here. On the user management, there is no group management here, so because there is no group adding, removing, all the stuff. So but still it is in version 1, so they may increase few features later point of time. So services, you can see this, some of the services like which are active, inactive, all the stuff. So you can do all these things from here itself. Like if you want to start, stop, okay, example, say that the Bluetooth service is died. If you want to start it, you can simply click on start, the service will start. So if you want to see something, anything, example, say video volume services which is active, if you want to stop it, you can simply say stop. So the service is inactive and died, stopped. Okay, if you want to start, you can simply click start, the service will be started. So that's easy it is. And sockets, timers, paths, all things you can configure from here itself, like which are already installed. You can start and stop, activate, disable it, enable it, all the stuff you can do it. The session recordings, so this is a session recordings for like whenever you are connected to your cockpit session. So you can simply do a configuration recordings of these sessions, like whenever you connect to the bash shell, and the sessions will be recorded over here. So that you can do over here. Next one is the applications. This applications management will become whenever you install these applications, all the packages, otherwise it won't see, you cannot see anything. Example, say that image builder. So if you want to do some image building, but this won't not work properly whenever you do not have any subscription management over here. So like it does not work properly sometimes, because you have to have the subscription for this. Like you have to have your machine is registered with Red Hat, then only it works properly. The next one is diagnostic report. This is very easy and very simple. You can simply say create report, that's it. It generates the reports, and you can download that report into the tar file, and you can extract it, and you can analyze the system performance. Next one is the kernel dump. So this kernel dump can be very easy, but whenever you say test configuration, it simply crash your machine and dump that kdump into the configuration into the var cache disk. So do not test this configuration on the any of the production or development environment, because this is going to crash your machine and test it, the kdump feature. The next one is SELinux. So the SELinux feature controls, but this is not as simple as shown over here. It's very complicated, but simply they have given some features to see this solutions from straightforwardly from here itself. Some commands they can given, so you can see this, the solution like this. So they give some suggestions from here. You can simply execute this command, that can be done, but this should be improved. The SELinux is very complicated, and it has very much elaborated features on SELinux. So hopefully it comes in next version. The software updates, so whenever you have the system is registered with the RHEL or the satellite server, any server which are package management can be done from here itself. so that it can check for the new updates or package updates, and if any vulnerable packages are there, you can update from here itself using this registered system facility. And subscriptions, so I do not have any subscription for this one, so that's what it does not show any products which are subscribed. So this is the great feature. So from terminal you can do anything. So this is what the stuff from remotely you can do without installing any software. You can simply connect to the terminal and do stuff. Okay, the next one is here, the dashboard. This feature very useful whenever you have a multiple servers, you wanted to connect all the servers on a single platform or the single interface. You can do monitor from here itself. Let's say place at the server and provide the remote server IP address, and that server should be installed with the Cockpit, then only it can join to this. Okay, example, I'm just giving the same server itself, but it may not try to connect. Say this. So the same server I just connected twice. You can go ahead and see this, the remote. You can switch in between the servers. This is the very useful, like when you have the multiple systems, you can simply connect all of the systems and you can monitor all of the systems in a single go. The VDO in the sense virtual data optimizer, so which gives you more perfect for the applications like virtual machines and containers, okay, or the object storage. So where this VDO can be used, so VDO can be used as a object storage or maybe like virtual machine storage or the container storage, so which gives you a lot of storage space savings which using the thin provision and the deduplication option. So what are the data you write on this VDO, which will inline will do on a compression and the deduplication, so that which saves a lot of space over here. So this virtual disk optimizer is a virtual disk optimizer and thin provisioned storage. Next one is a provide ultimate deduplication and compression for the storage space savings. The best utilization is for the cloud storage and container environments, and here there is a term called UDS. So this UDS will provide the indexing mechanism on the disk itself, the virtualization. So for the deduplication, so UDS is a kernel module which will write the deduplication index to that VDO and makes the deduplication perfect. So and here, so we are going to install it and configure it. By default, the VDO configuration can be written on /etc vdoconf.yml file, so which writes in a Ansible format. So whenever you execute this, it by default check the videos, all the stuff. So in order to install it and configure this one, so if you are configuring this VDO for virtual machines or the containers, you have to give the logical size for the VDO would be a 1:10%. So if example say that if your disk is 20 GB in size, the logical size should be a 200 GB for the virtual machines or the containers. So but if you are using for an object storage, so that you should give 1:3. Example, if your disk size is 20 GB, then you have to give 60 GB as a logical size. So what is that logical size? While we are creating, you will see that. Okay, so in order to do that, first of all you have to install this VDO and kmod -VDO. So these are the modules you have to install in this machine. Let's install this. Seems the package is already installed. Let's verify this system status. So status VDO.service. So the video service is running fine. So now you have to create the video. In order to do that, you need a black device. So example, say fdisk-l, if I go lsblk, you can go ahead and see that there is a two devices I have. So one is 10 GB and one is 20 GB. So I'm using this 20 GB disk to create a new device. So VDO create hyphen name. So what is the name you would like to give to that video? So I could say video 01, something like this. So video name is video 1, or maybe video test, something like this. Hyphen device, which device you would like to use this /dv/sdb is the device name. This one I'm going to use it over here. And video logical size equal to 200 GB, because I am using this SDB is an 20 GB, so that 1:10 ratio, so that's why I'm just using 200 GB. You can use maybe 500 GB, 750 GB or 1 TB, anything. So logical size depends on your usage actually. Okay, but this is perfect for me, so I just use that. So in order to create the file system on this device, so you have to use mkfs. You can use ext4 or xfs. So I'm just going to make the file system as xfs here. In order to format this, you have to use -k over here and the device name, so which makes the xfs file system here. Then you can simply mount that device. So in order to, before mounting, you have to intimate to the kernel saying that the partition table update says okay, I have created this partition. So in order to do, udev adm settle is the command to update that partition table over here. And you can mount this device is to, maybe I can say media, and ffnh. You can see which shows you 200 GB over here, which is not exactly the correct one, but this is the actual logical size over here. So if you want to see the actual size, you can use video stats -hu or human readable, sorry, -hu. I can see again -hu is the option where you can see that actual video size. So here is the 20 GB and used is 4 GB, and you can say 20% and available is 16 GB, something like this. So here I have some data already in this, because I did not formatted the device, that's why it says 4 GB is already exist on that device. So if you do a format, so that it won't show you that 4 GB size over here. Okay, now let's copy some data or and see how it works. Okay, so example, say this give you a most data saving on this device. Okay, example which is saving 99% over here. If you copy a multiple data onto the same and start the fs stream, so which gives you a more deduplication saving space over here. So how it works, the deduplication size, example, say if you have this this one, I would like to copy the file to the /media. Okay, and I'm copying again mkdir /media, and I say fs01 and fs02, fs03, like this, and I'm copying this to the multiple places, and I'm copying this one to the fs02, and I'm copying the same to the fs03. So you can see that slash media is the one video size, but here it says 1.1 GB is the used one, and available is 199, and 1% is the used one. And if you go to the media slash media and see, these are the files fs01, so all the files are there. Now video stats -hu, you can see this says, and 4.1 GB is 1 GB is used, and available is 15.9 GB, usage is 20%, and saving is 72%, right? But if you do a fstream on this file system, which will give you the more space, fstream and slash mount point, which takes a little time, and it will dedupe that data. So whatever the unused blocks will be discarded and will make more saving space over here. So that how it works. If you copy a multiple same data into the file system, which will make the deduplication savings, and if you run the fstream, and that makes all the deduplication data and save the space. Example, say if you copy a 1 GB data into that video file system, and say 1 GB multiple times by 4 times or 5 times, then the usage of that file system would be only 1 GB, not 4 GB. That's the deduplication makes more saving on this video. But this stream may take longer time because it's the first time which is running on the mount point. Maybe if you want to run the same on a regular phase, so you can use something like service that is called as a systemctl enable the service, which is called fstream dot timer. So this is the service you have to enable and start it, so that it will regularly discard the deleted blocks automatically. You need to do a manual fstreams all on the file system, something like this. Okay, you can see, maybe you can see this saving is 81%, something like this. You can run the fstream manually, or you can use a regular discard process using that fstream.service timer service, which will automatically do your things over there. So if you want to start or stop the video volumes, you can also use video stop -name, and you have to give your video name over here. Video test is my video name. So it says cannot stop because the volume is already mounted. You can just simply give this unmount and try to stop it. The video is stopped. Now if you go to video stats -hu, you can see this, there is no video. So again back, if you want to start that video, you can just use this start process, and you can see the data would be there and the video has been started. So in a similar way, you can activate the video, or you can deactivate the video. Sometimes if you want to migrate that disk from one server to another server, you can just deactivate. Example, say video deactivate and -name, and you can give the video name over here, so it will be deactivated, and you can see this. So that is deactivated, but you can see that status. So you can activate activating the video back. I can do this, or if you want to disable, or if you want to see this video status over here, which will give you a long list of details of this video, which will give total details, what is going on inside, and what is the writable policy sync, and all the details, how much compression is going on, and what is the black device status, when it is started. All the details will be given over here. Okay, like this. If you want to disable the deduplication, or disable the compression, enable the compression, you can do this using this video command. Example, say that enable deduplication name video test. So this is the you can enable the deduplication, or if you want to disable that, you can also similarly use the video disable deduplication, and you can give the video status over here, so which will disable the deduplication process, so that if you go back to the video stats, and you can see the space saving will not increase, it will keep on decreasing, the size will be used as much as like a normal disk partition. So this the deduplication will give you the more effective way to copying the dedup data. And if you want to compress the data, example say that you have copied a lot of text files, it will compress and give you the more space, like the text files will be compressed more. So in order to do that, you can use enable compression name equal to video test. So this will enable the compression. By default the compression will be enabled. If you want to disable, you can simply say disable compression and the name video state, that will be disabled. So here if you want to grow the logical size of the physical size of the video, example say logical size is 200 GB, if you want to change that to 250 GB, so you can simply say grow logical name of the video and video logical size. So while creating also we have given this video logical size equal to 250 GB. Okay, now you can go to start and see, that is 250 GB it's going to be. Okay, I have to mount it to see that. You can see this like this. If you want to change that logical volume, logical size of that video, you can change it, and if you want to change the physical state of the video, but you have to increase the black device size first, then run this command. You can use grow physical name equal to video test, so that whatever the black device size is there, that will grow automatically. So this is the command to grow physically, but in order to grow this one, you have to add the space on the black device first, then change that black device changes whatever the file system you want to make it change, then use this grow, so that it will automatically grow. So if you want to remove that video, then first of all you have to unmount the device forcefully. Okay, then you just give the udev adm settle command, and just say dm setup remove and video name here. Okay, then VDO remove -force or normal -name equal to video test. So the video will be removed. So now if you go to video stats -hu, there is no video. Stratis file system is a new file system to avoid maintenance overhead. So basically whenever you create a basically standard partitions or LVM partitions or BRTFS or ZFS, any file systems, so which need to be increased. Example say that LVM is full, so you have to add some space to the LVM and resize the file system, all this stuff. But here Stratis file system is like just like you create a pool and in that create the file system, and then the maintenance overhead like bringing up the application down and increase the file system, all the stuff which is not required in Stratis. So how it works, so let's see this over here. So this is what is Stratis FS. Stratis FS is a local storage solution that lets multiple logical file systems share a pool of storage that is allocated from one or more block devices. You can see side is a diagram which is called as a name, the below one, so black device 1, 2, 3, so which is black device in the sense a physical hard disk example. So disk 1, disk 2, disk 3, which are called as a name data tier, so which is called as a data tier. Now combining all these data tier, like the combining all these black devices, which is called as a Stratis storage pool. So in this Stratis storage pool you can also create a cache version, and caching can be increased your performance, like whenever you want to write some data to here, the cache can be made using the SSD drives or the faster drives, which makes you more performance wise more powerful. So top of that you can create the file systems like file system 1, file system 2, file system 3. So in this data tier you can create a number of storage pools. Okay, instead of an entirely in kernel approach like ZFS or BRTFS, Stratis uses a hybrid user / kernel approach that builds upon existing black capabilities like device mapper. So whenever you use these black devices, it uses a lot of device mappers in the background. So existing file system capabilities like XFS and the user space demand for the monitoring and control. So always the user space demand monitoring will be on in the background, it should be running, otherwise it won't monitor the Stratis file system. So this is the basically the outline of it, how it makes. So these black devices combining, this is called as a data tier. Here adding these all black devices together, which is called as a Stratis storage pool. In this Stratis storage pool you can create the cache pool and Stratis storage pool. Top of it you can create the file systems. This file system just like folders. So just like in a folders you can just create a folder, and just like a folder creation, so I can say simply. So here Stratis file system advantages, so these are not all yet available on this version 1.0.3, the current version, but these are the features which are going to come into the Stratis file system. So the flexibility, which is going to be more flexible, and integrity, so the data integrity, in the sense the most data integrity in this Stratis file system, and scalability, like growing the file system, like it does not currently do not have any limitations right now. The Stratis file system, it can support until petabytes. Encryption, so the encryption is also not in place, but it comes in the next versions. Improved performance with caching tier, so that's what the storage pool. In storage pool you can create a caching tier which can improve your performance. And data redundancy, like RAID 1, RAID 5, RAID 6 and RAID 10 will be supported in the Stratis file system. So the redundancy is capable of the Stratis file system. Thin provisioning, which will be save lot of data if you go with thin provisioning. In case of duplicates, the dedup also supported. And thin provisioning, like what are the data sizes used on the actual disk, that can be shown as a file system utilization. So here they are going to give you a great thing is that Dbus API, so which gives you more flexibility in case of if you want to integrate this Stratis file system with the containers or with the with the virtual machines, so that it can be expandable, like whenever the virtual machine space is growing, so which can be expandable automatically, so that the containers or the virtual machines won't stop performing. So that's what the great feature about the Dbus API. So so which gives more flexibility and integration. Supports large number of black devices. So there is no, as of now, numbers they did not given on any of the official site or anywhere, but they say that it supports large number of black devices, and 2 to the power of 24 file system per pool you can create. So imagine, like, if you create a single pool, in that this many file systems you can create, which is almost 16 millions. That's what's the file systems you can create over here. The next one, a little bit disadvantage or maybe improvements required on this Stratis file system is that whenever you type the df command, the output is not useful. In case it does not show actually Stratis file system usage, it just show the different one, so that does not make sense. Sometimes user may confuse. Stratis does not like reformatting the file system again and again. So as a Stratis file system, they say that do not reformat and reformat. So that's what they say on the website as well. So the Stratis does not like reformatting of the file systems. Uses many device mappers devices in background, so that may be a advantage, maybe a disadvantages. But if you see in a DM setup, so it gives you a lot of device mapper devices if you use Stratis pools. Stratis require a user space daemon always running, so maybe it is an advantage or disadvantage. Anyway, some of the demand should be running always, so that the file system will be up and running. So the next one is the development roadmap. So which are the features is going to come in version 2. So remove an existing black device. Example, say that you have created a storage pool, in that you have added the black devices, but sometimes if you want to remove the faulty device and add new device, or if you want to remove some of the devices, black devices from the pool, so that's what the version 2 is going to be come with. And redundancy level RAID 1, RAID 5, RAID 6 and RAID 10 is going to be supported in version 2. And cache redundancies, in the sense the cache is also come with a redundancy. In case of cache failure, the performance will be impacted, so that also you can create a redundancy on cache itself. And write through caching enabled, so this is the feature is going to come. And the quotas, so there is no quotas as of now on the version 1, but quotas is also going to come. And black device resize, so which may be sometimes in black device, if you use a 50% of the black device for storage pool, if you want to expand that black size, you can do that on a version 2. Spares, like, which is a more important, like whenever you add a one black device, which is just like in a spare, sometimes one disk failed, the data will be dumped to the spare and use it. So that's the another feature which is going to come on to version 2. Another one is version 3, the send and receive things, and integrity checking, RAID scrub, compression, encryption and deduplication, RAID write log. These are the version 3 is going to come in the roadmap. And version 4, which is going to come, like change a pool redundancy level. Whenever you have a pool which is created with RAID 1, if you want to change that redundancy level to RAID 5, maybe that can be supported on RAID 4. I'm not sure how it's going to be, but they said in the roadmap which is going to come in version 4. And boot from a file system, so if this comes, most of the like LVM stuff and other stuff which may go off, like of course not immediately, but it would be a boot from the file system with the Stratis, so that maybe give you a lot more flexibility. And lib storage management integration, multipath integration, so the multipath will be very useful in case if you present the LUNs from the storage, so that makes sense. Tag based black device and FS classification, so here there's no classifications as of now. This is one pool or this is second pool, something like that. So going forward, tag based black device, you tag the black device, so which is classified data, something like that. And mirroring across the partition with pool, so this makes like the DR site and DC site, something like mirroring the across the partitions within the pool, so which has a redundant file systems on the single pool. So that's what the version 4 is going to come. Support for byte addressable persistent memory, so that is the one more feature which is going to come on development roadmap. So next we are going to see that Stratis installation and configuration practical. So this is what we are going to see on the practical, how we can install and configure this Stratis file system and create the full file systems and create some snapshot and adding some disks over it. All the stuff we are going to see on this practical. I'm into the command line interface. Here first of all we have to install this Stratis daemon and Stratis CLI utility. So the Stratis CLI utilities which uses dbus APIs to run on the CLI. Let's see this. Install Stratis D and Stratis CLI, which are the packages required for Stratis. So the Stratis is developed on Python, so that's why the Python dependent packages will be installed, and the Stratis is written on Rust language. So now the package is installed. Let's start enable the Stratis D and systemctl start Stratis D, and let's verify the status. So Stratis file system is running fine. So now let's verify, do we have any black devices over here which we may require device to create the Stratis pools. So here I have SDC and SDB. So SDB is 20 GB and SDC is 10 GB. So we are going to create some pool on this black device, and later we add this, extend that pool using this 10 GB. Let's see this. Okay, now in order to do that, so first of all we have to go with Stratis pool create. So the pool name, I say that data pool, okay, /dev/sdb. SDB is the one, so which we are going to use Stratis pool. So Stratis pool is created. Now I can see Stratis pool list, which is going to show you that the Stratis data pool is created with 20 GB in size and 512 megabytes has been used for initial file system. Okay, now top of this we are going to create the file system, Stratis file system create, and we have to give the pool name, called data pool, and file system name, so FS01 I'm just going to give. So now file system has been created, and you can see that Stratis file system list, which is going to give you the file system list over here. You can see this data pool, and FS01 is the name, and initial file system is used by 546 megabytes, and here the device path is Stratis data pool FS01. So here we have to make the file system, then you can mount it. Okay, so mkfs.xfs, and this is the file system name I'm just going to give, so which is already, sorry, so here I have to use, so basically this does not require any file system over here, so just you can directly mount this Stratis file system over here. Let's see, my FS01 and mount. You can use this like this, and you can go ahead and see this the device mapper which is used to mount this one, myfs01. okay, now we can also create one more file system. Maybe let's say we'll say that I would like to create fs02 Stratis file system list. You can see that there are two file system has been created over here, data pool fs01 and data pool fs02. so like this you can create a number of file systems on the single storage pool and you can mount them, so which does not require any file system to be formatted with. You can simply mount it. Example, say that I would like to create fs02 and mount and slash fs02, and you can see that there are two mount points which are mounted to the Stratis file system. So Stratis pool list, you can see this is the pool, and if you say the pool name, which is going to Stratis black device list, you can see that data pool name and black device name and its physical size in use, and tier is data tier. Okay, like this you can create the pools and file systems. And if you want to expand the pool, example, say that if you want to add some of the disks to 8, so you can add it. Example, say Stratis pool and add data and say pool name. So what is the pool name here? The pool name is this one, and now you have to go slash dvsdb sdc is the one next one. So I'm just going to increase it, and now I'm just going to see this black list, black device list, Stratis black device list. You can see this, there are two devices in the pool. Now you can go ahead and see Stratis pool list, which is going to be size is 30 GB. So just like you can increase the size and you can decrease the size, you can remove the black device, but which is not available currently. Maybe you have to lose the data in case of if you want to remove the black device. So in case if you want to rename this pool name later point of time, so you can also use the rename option and you can provide the pool name. So the pool name is, I just used data pool, but I wanted to change this to the fs pool, something like this. You can use it, Stratis and pool list. You can see that the pool name is changed from data pool to fs pool. So like this you can rename the pool. And if you want to add the cage to that pool, example, say if you have some SSDs, you want to make some cage, you can also use Stratis pool add cache and say cache pool name, the say like cache pool, and you have to provide the device name. So currently I do not have any device. I have only 2 disks on this VM, so I have only added 2, so that's why I could not able to demonstrate this cache one. So that's what it is. And Stratis, if you want to destroy the file systems, you can also use Stratis file system destroy, and pool name you have to use, and which file system you would like to destroy it. But before that you have to unmount it, umount slash fs02, and now Stratis file system destroy fs pool and fs02. So now if you go to the file system list, you can see that there is only one file system exists, so another file system is gone. So now you can see that the file system size currently, which is 500 MB. But if you want to copy some data over there and see that how the file system grows, okay, so I'm just going to /mnt over here, and I have I would like to copy this base OS directory to /myfs01. So we're just going to copy all these RPMs data into that myfs01. So which should be some quick. Let's see this. So now let's see that which is completed the copy of it, and Stratis file system list. You can see this, the file system has been used 1.4 GB over here. You can maybe go to the Stratis pull list. You can also see over here the usage. So 1.4 GB has been used out of 30 GB. So just like that, you can use a data tier. Top of that, the storage pool, Stratis storage pool. Top of that, you can create a number of file systems and dump the data over there. So if you want to mount this Stratis file system permanently using the FS tab, so you can also use BLK ID over here and say grab this UUID from here. Let's say this is my Stratis pool, and capture this UUID from here, and the type is XFS, remember, and /etc FS tab. So here you can mount the device permanently. So you can add like this, and the file system is XFS. Sorry, mount point you have to give myfs01, and the file system is XFS defaults 0/0. Like this you can mount it. Otherwise you can also use like this the complete path of the pool. Like this you can also mount it. Like this also you can use. Otherwise, the better way, you can use UUID on the FS tab instead of this over here. You can simply make a UID. That would be more flexible and perfect, and you can use, sorry, that's it. So you can see, you can unmount maybe my FS01 and mount -a, sorry, mount -a, and you can see that the mount is back to mounted. Like this you can use the Stratis pool and create the file systems and rename the file systems, and you can use the pools and destroy the pools, so something like that. But here the cool feature is that you can create the file system snapshots as well. Example, say that I'm just going to create one more file system, Stratis file system. The file system, I'm just going to create the new one. I'm thinking file system, create new, sorry, FS pool, and new FS, I say. Okay, now Stratis file system list. You can see that there are two file systems created. Now I'm just going to mount this one, this file system, to /fs02. So here and I'm going to FS02 and create some files. Touch testing, maybe I say 1 to 10.txt files. So 10 files has been created. Out of this, I'm just going to edit the 9th one, and I'm just going to add, this is the tech ARKIT YouTube channel. Let's say I have created some text file over here and unmount that FS02. Now I'm just going to create that Stratis file system snapshot, which is exactly as a file system. So how much file system it is, and FS name is new FS, and snapshot name, sorry, the FS name is new FS, and the snapshot name here I'm just going to create a snapshot FS. Okay, so now which is going to create the snapshot. But if you look at up the file system list, which similarly same looks like the file system, so it does not make any difference in between the distinguish between the file system and the snapshots. That's what it is on the current Stratis file system. Let's see this. The snapshot is creating. So the snapshot has been created, and see Stratis file system list. You can see this, the snapshot FS has been created over here, which is similar to this one. Okay, let's mount it and see. So what is there in this FS02, and go to FS/FS02 and see this. Okay, and see the content of okay, so this is the exactly similar as the file system snapshot. So how much is the file system, and the snapshot is also similar. Okay, and